Hi everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook layout video, and welcome to another For the Love of Crafting and Sharing video hop. So this layout here is my inspiration for the month. This layout was done by Moira O'Reilly, and I'm just showing you the couple different aspects that I'm going to pick up. Our prompt for the month of February is to scrap lift someone or find inspiration from someone or somewhere and to share that. So I asked Moira if I could share her layout, and she said yes. So this layout she posted, I want to say in December. You can tell it kind of has more of a Christmassy vibe. Mine is not going to be Christmassy, but I immediately knew when I saw her do that layout that I wanted to scrap lift it and use it for these exact pictures. I don't know what it was, but I just immediately knew. You know how sometimes you see something and you're just like, oh, I know what I could do with that. So that is what I'm doing here. So I'm showing you everything in the beginning that I'm using. This is a star die by Technique Tuesday here, and I was originally going to use my Cricut to cut out a bunch of stars, but I decided to kind of be lazy and just use my die cut machine, which the Cricut might have been easier, but I didn't have to cut out that many stars, so I just went for it. But I am scrapbooking these photos of my daughter, and these are when she was on the color guard, and this is probably one of my most favorite photos I've ever taken of her, so especially with the color guard. I will probably end up scrapbooking these photos more than once. I have printed them more than once, and I realize I need to display them around my house, so I might put this layout up or in my house somewhere too, but I just happened to capture her at the right moment when they were doing their routine for the guard, whatever you call it. But if you can see, I don't know if you can see, but if you saw this picture in real life or even maybe in the still shot photos, you could just see the serious look she has on her face and her stance and everything. It was just, it's an amazing picture to me. So I really have not been, this is one of those things that I haven't scrapbooked in a while because I wasn't sure how to scrapbook it, even though, like I said, I'm probably going to do it more than once. So what I was showing you there is when you are making a layout like this, if you really want to try to get the colors all over the place, but not make it look like a huge mishmash, do each color in a triangle. So I put the blue ones down and I kind of made a triangle with them, and then same thing with the gold. I'm making a triangle. It doesn't matter where you put them, just put them somehow in a triangle so that they're not sitting right next to each other. I hope that makes sense, but you can see how as I go along with this, the colors, you know, I'm trying to make not the same ones touch as the same ones, so I'm trying to make not all the yellow sparkly, which by the way, the yellow and the sparkly ones, so I have yellow, blue, and white sparkly stars that I cut out. Those were cut out by some Queen & Company glitter foam, I believe it's called, and it's self-adhesive. That stuff cuts so smoothly. I've had it sitting around for quite a few months now, and I finally used it. I really wanted to use the blue and the yellow because that's the colors my daughter was wearing, so I will leave a link below to that foam, and it's really neat foam. I really liked it. So and I was happy to finally get some of it used because that's one of those items that I have in my stash. At least in my stash I have it, and I don't ever think to use it. So, but I definitely wanted to add some glitter to this layout, and that just really helped. So I decided to cut another one of these, and just a note, for some of these stars, I do only have one or two of the colors. I think they have at least two on each of them, but don't feel like it has to be exact, like you have to have three of them, but as long as for quite a few of them you have three of them, then it's okay. So I put the stars down where I wanted them. I should have taken a picture, but I do like how they come together in the end, because when I went to glue them, they didn't exactly stay in the spots that I wanted them to, but that's okay. So I also am going to use the same title that Moira used because this is a great title for these pictures, and it doesn't really make any sense. It just says sparkle, but you know what? It works for me. So right now I'm trying to decide if I want this bigger photo. I really wanted the bigger photo on the top, and they are kind of more of the exact same photo, but there is just a little bit of a different like stance to her or look on her face, and I don't care. Like I said, I'll scrapbook this photo 100 times. I love it so much. So I did put a pencil mark where that photo was going to go so that I wouldn't worry about gluing down stars behind it. Mostly the glitter foam. I wasn't worried about the other stars, the paper stars, getting stuck completely behind it. But because the blue and the yellow on that glitter foam is such a prominent color on this layout, I wanted to make sure that there was some sticking out from behind the big photo on the right or the left hand side, which you will see in just a few moments. And it really kind of helps too, just to know where the stars will be poking out, so you don't have kind of an awkward looking star. And then where the photos are going to go, I have popped up so that, you know, there's the, sorry, let me slow down. There's the glitter foam behind, you know, or that has some dimension. So I also added some of the stars on top of foam tape on top of the glitter foam, which is about the same height because I don't use really thick foam, but I decided to pop some of them up so that it doesn't, not all the paper ones are flat and the glitter's totally in your face, if that makes sense. So if you look at the top one that's by the yellow one, you can tell I overlapped it on top of the glitter foam, and so that just kind of again gives it a little bit more dimension. So sorry if this voiceover is not good. I feel like my voice is like weird and crackly. I don't know. I'm a little out of commission here. It's been a while since I've done a video. So anyways, I'm trying to get this blue one to work over here, and I didn't like the way that one thing I will say is 2 of the glitter stars I didn't like layered on top of the other glitter star, because it just, I don't know, it kind of gave this wonky dimension unless I was going to add foam tape behind one of the glitter foams, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I just went ahead and tried to avoid every one of them from layering on top of another one. And in some cases, like right above the left-hand photo, it is not working. It's like I'm going to have to layer the 2, and I'm not liking it. I'm just not enjoying the way that blue one looks there with that gold one, but I know I need some blue over in that area, and I also know I'm going to need a piece of gold. And I got distracted and I kind of left that part, so I decided to play around with this area. I felt like it needed something over here. I am going to completely pull this glitter foam one up, which it came up really nicely, by the way, so that's another plus to that foam. But this foam also, by the way, would probably be really good for titles. If you had die-cut alphabets, it would probably work really well for that as well. Then I kind of cut off a little bit bigger piece of this blue one and hid it behind that picture even more, and that really, I really liked that. So I'm just going to kind of chop off this yellow one a little more, and again, I probably chopped off more than I should have been a little more aware, I guess, of where I chopped them off at, but I just did it and called it good. So I figured out a good place where I wanted it to go. And at this point, I'm going to be honest, when I was doing this layout, I wasn't liking it. I was like, you know, this just is not turning out as good as I wanted. I did want this third like white glitter foam piece in there, and I'm trying to look at it before I cut it this time to see what it would look like coming from behind the photo. And so I'm going to leave it there for a second, because that's where, again, I have to layer the one glitter foam above the other one, and I didn't really want to do it at this point, so I'm just leaving it there. Then I'm kind of working, I needed another just plain yellow star, and I kind of wanted it down here, but you will see that now I think there are 4 of the yellow stars on there, but you don't really pay attention too much to that, because everything, there's like 3 of all the other ones. So, and then I put this title down. It does, for me, I am not the type who can easily use both gold and silver on a layout. If it's a Christmas layout, it's not so hard. But when you see this in person, that glitter foam is more yellow than it is gold, and so that is why. Plus it really brings out the color in the flag, so I decided to go ahead and do it, and I really wanted to use this title. So in the end, I absolutely love how this turns out. So I used this sparkle like I said I was going to use, and then also from that same thicker sheet I used some of the stars that were part of the thickers. You know how they give you little pieces to go along, not always just the title, which I love. So I'm just pulling off some of the stars, looking here to see if there's anything else. I was going to say use sparkle, but I thought, no, I just like it the way it is. So I actually thought that I was kind of done at this point, but it just felt like it needed a little something more. And these are all, I can't remember if I mentioned, I'm using the London Felicity Jane kit. So if you saw my video of my 2020 Scrappy goals, using up a few of my Felicity Jane kits is on that list, and so this is one of those kits. So I actually didn't pull it out to make this layout. I pulled it out to scrapbook some other layouts so I would have some videos up for you guys, but it just happened. Then I remembered, oh, I got to get that other video done. And I decided that the colors actually worked really well. So I went with it. And I'm just going to add the date here. So I did add a couple of little embellishments like I was mentioning, that because it just needed a little something. I think that one tag says beautiful, and then this one I just added the date to. And that is pretty much, these are back when Felicity Jane had their die cuts. They would come not cut, but they would come like on a sticker sheet. And so you had to pull the sticker off of the backing of the sticker sheet, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And this is, I'm going to tell you, I will never be able to buy one of those fine line glue bottles because I hate trying to get that little needle back into that thing. Kudos to those of you who can put up with that, but not for me. Nope, I will never buy a fine line bottle. The concept is great, but no thank you. So once I added those there, it was like, okay, that looks really good there. I love it. So those are down. And then I decided maybe it needed a little something. So with this Felicity Jane kit, in the beginning I was showing you, I did add, so there is some gray stars on there with other stars like in white on the gray. I did use, that is a Webster Pages Allison Kreft? No? Well, let me look. Yeah, Allison Kreft it looks like. I think that's what it says. So I did pull that paper in to go. I have, and this is another piece of paper in that little storage folder you can see there on the left-hand side of the page. Those are just some papers I've picked up along the way over a few years that I knew I might want to use for my daughter's color guard photos, because you can see her outfit was these beautiful different light blue and dark blue and then the yellow. So those are all pages made just for, or those are all papers just put aside for her. I might use them for something else, but I'm trying to get this paper. So anyways, I decided to cut down my main layout so I can mount it. I just wanted the slightest of dark borders, but it was not lining up. It was so, I was getting a little confused. I didn't know if my paper was cut crooked, so I was trying to measure it on my grid on my background just to see, but I decided just to trim off a little tiny bit more, which would have been good if I would have started by cutting it down, because I didn't want to cut the edge of those stars off, and so that was making it a little difficult. But I'm finally going to get it lined up here, and then I'm just going to do this a little differently than I normally do, because I'm just going to get it where I want it and stick this scrappy tape down without moving it as best as I can, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some more scrappy tape around the sides. But at least this way I know that it's in the place. So this is the other side to that paper that I'm backing it with. This is not the Allison Kreft one. This one, oh, I don't know what the name of it is. I don't really care for this one as much as I thought. I did get it for that main star circle, the blue side, because I can't remember the name of their Winter Guard team, but they were, it was like Earth and things like that. So I'm just showing you here. I thought this was called Glitter Dust or Stardust pen, but it didn't have that name on there, so I thought I would look to see, but it had the same effect, so I don't know if it was a different company or what. But I just took that and I added 3 little dots around all over the page. I had originally meant to add splatters to it like Moira did on hers, but I completely forgot before adding the stars, so this really helped. If you can see there, the 3 little star or circles, I just put those all around the layout, and that finished it off perfectly for me. I love how it turned out. So thank you so much for watching. Here's some close-up photos. And again, don't forget to follow the links below to see what the other wonderful ladies are doing and who they are scraplifting. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again next month. Bye.